In 1999, a civil engineer walked into a grocery store and walked out with a plan that would legally extract over $800,000 from major airlines. No hacking, no fraud, no insider access. Just pudding. 12,150 cups of pudding. 3 weeks later, he controlled over 1.25 million frequent flyer miles, enough to fly first class around the world for years. And the craziest part? The airlines couldn't stop him. Their lawyers tried. They searched every line of the contract, every clause, every condition. They found nothing. He had followed every single rule. His name was David Phillips, a civil engineer trained to do one thing better than most people: find the weakest point in the system and understand exactly how much pressure it takes to break it. In May of 1999, Phillips wasn't looking for airlines. He wasn't looking for a loophole. He was flipping through a grocery store flyer when something caught his attention. A promotion. Simple, forgettable, almost invisible. Buy 10 Healthy Choice products, mail in the barcodes, earn 500 frequent flyer miles. Most people saw a coupon. Phillips saw a pricing error, hiding in plain sight, because the promotion didn't say which products qualified. It didn't say frozen meals only. It didn't say minimum purchase required. It didn't say limit per household. It just said, any Healthy Choice product. That single word, any, was a crack in the system. And Phillips saw exactly how wide that crack could become. He started doing the math. Frozen dinners cost around $2 each. Too expensive. Canned soup? About 90 cents. Better, but not optimal. Then he found it, hidden on a clearance shelf in a discount grocery store. Individual chocolate pudding cups. Price? 25 cents each. Each one had its own barcode. Each barcode counted toward the promotion. That's when everything changed. 10 pudding cups would cost him $2.50. And in return, he would receive 1,000 frequent flyer miles. Do the math. That means he was buying airline miles for roughly a quarter of a cent each. At the time, airlines valued those same miles at around 2 cents each. That's an 8 times difference in value. A round-trip flight to Europe, normally costing $800 to $1,000, required about 50,000 miles. At normal prices, those miles would cost around $1,000. Using Phillips' method, 125. That's not a discount. That's arbitrage. Buying something at one price and instantly turning it into something worth significantly more. Most people would hesitate. Phillips didn't. He started buying. Every store he could find, every clearance shelf, every available cup of pudding. He drove across cities, Sacramento, Fresno, Stockton, clearing out entire inventories. Store employees began to notice. They watched him load shopping carts full of pudding, day after day, store after store. Eventually, they gave him a nickname, the Pudding Guy. When they asked why he was buying so much, he told them he was preparing for Y2K. At the time, people believed computers might fail when the year 2000 arrived. Stockpiling food didn't sound strange. It sounded responsible. Over 3 weeks, he accumulated 12,150 pudding cups. His garage filled from floor to ceiling with boxes. His house began to look less like a home and more like a warehouse. But then, the real problem revealed itself. The promotion required physical barcodes. That meant he had to peel 12,150 labels by hand before the deadline. This wasn't digital. It couldn't be automated. Every single cup had to be opened, handled, processed manually. He started peeling. His wife watched in disbelief.
David, what are you doing?
He showed her the numbers, explained the math, explained the opportunity. She didn't believe it, but she understood one thing. He couldn't do it alone. So she helped. Then the kids joined. They sat in the garage, peeling label for hours, day after day. Their fingers blistered, their hands cramped. Some of the labels were stubborn, others tore apart. Time was running out. And real quick, if you enjoy stories like this, real financial loopholes, hidden systems, and how people legally exploit them, make sure you subscribe, because this isn't a one-time story. There are thousands of systems like this, and most people never even notice them. What started as a brilliant idea was now turning into an impossible physical task. That's when Phillips made the move. That turned this from clever into genius. He picked up the phone and called the Salvation Army. "I have 12,000 cups of pudding to donate," he said. There was a pause. Then the question,
What's the catch?
"I just need the barcodes back." Think about that for a second. The charity needed food. They had volunteers. Phillips needed labor. He had food. It was a perfect exchange. The next day, he delivered thousands of pudding cups. Volunteers began peeling the labels, working in shifts, efficient, organized. Within days, all 12,150 barcodes arrived back at his house, neatly stacked, ready to be mailed. But what he did next made the entire operation even more powerful. He used the tax system. In the United States, donations to registered charities are tax deductible, and the deduction is based on retail value, not what you paid. Each pudding cup had a retail price of 89 cents. Phillips had purchased them for 25 cents. That difference mattered. 12,150 cups at retail value equaled over $10,000. He claimed a deduction, which meant the government effectively reimbursed part of his cost. His original investment dropped even further. The system didn't just allow the strategy, it helped fund it. By the time he mailed in the barcodes, his total cost had dropped to around $2,300 for over 1.25 million airline miles. Then, he waited. Days passed. Nothing. Weeks passed. Still nothing. He checked his mailbox constantly. He checked his airline accounts daily. No miles. No confirmation. No acknowledgement. He called customer service. After a long hold, the representative returned. Her voice had changed. Careful. Measured.
Your submission is under review.
That was corporate language for, "We're trying to figure out how to stop you." Doubt started to creep in. His friends told him it wouldn't work. Companies always find a way out, they said. His wife stopped asking about the pudding. Even he began to wonder, what if he missed something? What if there was a clause he didn't see? What if they refused to pay? Then, 2 months later, a package arrived. Large, heavy. He carried it inside, opened it on the floor. Inside were thousands of certificates, each one worth frequent flyer miles. He counted them, double-checked. 1,253,000 miles. They had honored it. He had won. But there was still one final barrier. The airlines. The miles weren't real until they were deposited, and airline fraud systems were strict, unforgiving. He began depositing carefully, spreading some miles across different airlines, but the majority went into one account, American Airlines. Then he waited. Normally, deposits were instant. This time, nothing. Minutes turned into hours. The screen still said, "Processing." 3 hours passed. Panic set in. What if the system flagged him? What if they rejected everything? What if this entire operation collapsed at the final step? Meanwhile, inside an airline office, an analyst stared at her screen. An alert, unusual activity. A single account, receiving over 1 million miles at once. She reviewed the data. The certificates were valid. The promotion was real. No rules had been broken. Her finger hovered over the fraud department call button. One call, and it would all be over. Then she paused. Everything checked out. There was no violation, no fraud, no reason to deny it. She made a decision. She clicked, approve. Back at home, Phillips refreshed the page and saw it. His balance updated. Over 1 million miles. And something else appeared. Lifetime elite status. He had done it. He had turned $2,000 into a lifetime of luxury travel. First class flights, priority boarding, VIP access, all from pudding. But what he really exposed was something much bigger. Frequent flyer miles are not rewards. They are currency. Airlines create them out of nothing, sell them to banks, and profit massively. Flying planes is no longer the main business. Selling miles is. And Phillips found a way to buy that currency for a fraction of its real value. When the story went public, it exploded. News outlets covered it. Major publications wrote about it. He became famous overnight. And by then, it was too late. The companies couldn't take it back. If they did, they would expose the flaw. So they stayed silent, and Phillips remained untouchable. Over the next several years, he traveled the world with his family. 40 countries, first class. Experiences most people only dream of, all from a loophole hidden in a grocery store flyer. But here's the real question. Was he a genius? Or just someone who read the fine print when nobody else did? Because the truth is, systems like this exist everywhere, hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone patient enough to notice the details and bold enough to act on them. If you want more real stories like this, where people legally exploit systems, uncover hidden money, and beat billion-dollar companies at their own game, hit subscribe, because the next story might be even bigger than this one.